Welcome, everybody, and welcome to Mega Life 21 Mayhem. I am your host for Mega Life 21 Mayhem, James P. Madonna, and this is Honest Craft Beer Review, Volume 9, and I have with me two guests this time. Not one, but two. The one and only Tom, the Beer Whisperer, who is on location in his main office in Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, right? And
yeah, that's right.
And we also have with us second generation professional wrestler, Mr. Jason Speed. Jason, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Not bad, not bad. We're hanging in there. So,
Nice to meet you, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
okay, now this show is going to be completely, it's completely unrehearsed, no holds barred, reality beer show. We talk about drinking. We talk about high quality craft microbrew beers. The last time Tom was with me, he educated everyone concerning the difference between Irish whiskey and Scotch whiskey. But this time we're going to be sampling some with stouts and porters, right? Dark beer.
Yeah, I'm gonna start with. I've got a Black Hawk stout from Mendocino Brewing Company. It's an Irish style stout.
Okay, we're going to pop that. But I just want to say that a lot of the members on these groups, they obviously take this way too seriously. They have no sense of humor. They do a critique on the beer, and they're so stuffy that they don't crack jokes. They don't have a personality. Besides yourself and this other gentleman, everybody else is just a stuff shirt, and nobody has really on YouTube and the internet. Everybody's responded to when you did the naked beer tasting, But I know you're making faces. But the people, the members of the group, nobody has commented besides Red Rooster. But
Yeah, I'm willing to make fun of myself. I give serious information, but I'm okay with making fun of myself too.
yeah, I know you were. Red Rooster says something that you look like Buddha.
Yeah, that's why I call my dance the Dancing Buddha.
Dancing
all my
Buddha.
videos, I say I'm going to leave you with the Dancing Buddha. I call that the Dancing Buddha.
All right. Now, Jason Speed, you told me a long time ago. You explained to me, you're second generation wrestler. Your dad was a very well established career pro wrestler in the Caribbean from Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's a big star in the '70s, and I took over. I made it to the WWE, which was really effective. And I still do it independent. We speak about it in the channel, and that's what I'm on to now.
Okay, and yeah, he's
And I love beer.
and he loves cerveza. He loves beer.
Very good.
And I have a feeling Jason likes the good stuff. He don't like the cheap crap.
No.
Yeah.
Only the good stuff.
Well,
You know what I did try, and in my opinion, it just was horrible. That new Bud Light Platinum crap.
oh man.
Yeah. Oh, man.
When you get used to drinking micro brews, you'll never go back to Coors or Bud or Miller or any of that crap. I like Yuengling because it's a high quality beer and it's cheap. I pay like $6 for 6 bottles, and it's America's oldest brewery. But there's so many micro.
That's good stuff. I tried that for the first time when I was out of Massachusetts, and that was exceptional.
Exceptional quality beer, like beer's supposed to be. Now, what kind of Tom? What do you have there? Please announce the beer and show it to our viewers.
This is a Black Hawk Select Stout from
Would you say-
Mendocino Brewing Company.
Black Hawk?
Originally, they were out of Mendocino, California. They're now being brewed in Saratoga, New York.
Oh, Black Hawk.
Black Hawk. Black
Oh,
Hawk.
I thought you said Black Cock.
That's a whole different flavor altogether.
Yeah,
Oh.
they make a beer called Black Hawk. It's they brew it in Harlem.
It's a Harlem brewery, Jason said.
Oh, all right, I haven't seen that one. But this is a 5.2% Irish style stout.
An Irish style cock? What?
You're killing me.
Oh, Irish style stout. See, we're allowed to curse and say anything we want because this is FCC and corporate free internet talk radio. So feel free to express yourselves, and if you want to go off, you can go off on people if you want. Now, there's jabronis out there. Now, I like that shirt you got there, Tom.
Yeah, see, I wear shirts like this to ensure and keep this beer belly to ensure that no other women ever talk to me. So this is my wife's insurance policy.
What do you
She's
mean?
not afraid when I go out without her because I look like Buddha on holiday.
So she wants you to look more like Buddha when you're by yourself, when you're not with her.
I call this my Buddha on holiday look. I'm patenting it.
But what about the girls? What about if any hot girls want to rub your belly for good luck?
Well, as long as they just don't go lower than the belly, I guess that'll be okay.
Rub your crotch, your crotch for good luck. Or maybe they want to sample some of your micro brew when it's on its way out. Who knows?
There you go.
A little golden micro brew golden showers. All right. So that, you know what, Jason, I don't know if you're watching on that link I send you, but that beer is like it's like Guinness. It's black. It's black. That is a beautiful looking stout, man.
Again, it's a dry style or an Irish style stout, so it's similar, a little lighter in body than a Guinness, but very dark roasted malt. It's very nice beer. And talking about price real quick, as you brought that up, I bought this in a mixed 12-pack for $14, so we're looking at about $7 a 6-pack. Great quality beer, again, very reasonable.
There's so many great micro breweries in the United States. That's why the price is coming down on them. They become very affordable now. But that's beautiful, man. It looks like blackstrap molasses. It's did I tell you about their Polish beer, the porter that was black like that? It knocked me on my ass, man. It starts with a Z, Z-Y, Zawek, or I couldn't pronounce the name, but it was power. It was stronger than Guinness. So, Jason, what other beers have you tried? You probably had Sam Adams and Bass Ale or things like that.
I just had the day before yesterday was a Red Lobster that had the Sam Adams Summer Ale, I think it was.
Sam Adams Summer Ale, the Red Lobster.
So,
it's light. It's I
now,
know.
if I remember correctly, that's brewed with Grains of Paradise. It's an ancient brewing spice.
Grains.
Right.
That kind of gives it a citrusy flavor.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Hey, I want to ask Madonna something. What kind of beer you think Gino drinks?
You mean Mr. Tiddly? I'm sorry, Mr. Italy? Mr. Massa Tiddly? Oh, Mr. Italy Gino Caruso. Well, I would assume that if Gino was to drink a beer very frequently, it would be extremely low priced. It would have to be maybe homemade by one of the ECPW students, and homemade in a bathtub like the Three Stooges did on that one episode.
What are you trying to say? They're sock filtered?
What filtered? You say cock filtered? What did he say? What'd you say? Filtered by all the tea bagging from all the students.
Oh no!
Tea
We're
bag.
going down there. Oh my goodness!
That's a funny term, Tom. Tea bagging. When somebody sticks their balls in someone's mouth. But anyway, I guess the hairs on the gonads filter the
Maybe
beard.
that's how that political movement got started.
What political movement?
You know, the teabaggers.
The tea baggers? Oh yeah, the tea party, tea baggers. Yeah, because they
Yeah,
have the
that's a new tag team, the Teabaggers.
tea baggers. It's I was thinking of like you and Frankie Flo as the Chupacabras or something, you know, like the tea baggers. Hey, you know Merengue, right? Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Merengue. We know this guy, Tom, the wrestler, the Merengue Warrior. He has the world record. Well, the record for holding the East Coast Professional Wrestling light heavyweight title for the longest period. I believe he broke Timothy Plasma's record, and he's a Dominican man, and he has a mask, and he dances. He incorporates Latin merengue dancing with wrestling. When he gets mad, he starts dancing, and you know. I told him it's like merengue style kung fu, to be honest with you. But so merengue kung fu. Now I also
you know what? Hey, you know what's funny? I showed up on a show in the Bronx, and
right.
I didn't know. Obviously, this is the way it works. You go in, you don't know who you're wrestling. Your name's on the poster. That's about it.
Right.
But I get there, and you know, I'm a big dude, and they put me in a light heavyweight title match against Merengue and Roxbury. That was insane.
What? Ryan Roxbury, that guy when he stands sideways, he's invisible.
Exactly.
Ryan Crotchberry. Let me tell you, Ryan Crotchberry. We had a big falling out. Him and Prince Akanuki, Akatan, whatever, the Egyptian guy. He was like, he got pissed at me. Coxberry or Crotchberry. He has martinis on the side of his tights. But the night at the Crotchberry, he got so mad because I criticized Gino's old TV taping that he had horrible camera people. They had no microphones when Gino and Joey G were doing commentary. It was terrible. You know, the cameraman did not follow the wrestlers as they came out of the back. You know, the wrestlers were outside the ring. Cameraman didn't follow them. So because I gave constructive criticism, he started calling me all kinds of nasty names. Actually, to both of them, him and Brian Gartland, who is the real name for Prince Akhenaten or Akanuki or whatever the fuck he calls himself. But yeah, so you're not a light heavyweight. You are a bona fide heavyweight pro wrestler, Jason.
Yeah, I don't know. They got complicated. They do this and you know, I'm not a high flyer. That's not me.
No, it's not you.
I stay grounded and I kick some ass.
You're like Taz. You're terrestrial heavyweight. You know, you don't fly. Actually, a friend of mine used to go to Johnny Roz's school, and he's a pretty big dude. And Johnny says, "You're trying to learn like a high flying cruiserweight. It doesn't look good for a big man to try to fly around because it makes you look." Yeah.
It was horrible. My best match there, I would say, was with Tony Myers. I don't know if you know that.
No. No, I don't. Jason, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't know Tony Myers, but I definitely know Ron. He's not with DCPW anymore, Mr. Crotchberry, but thank God. But yeah, Andrew Anderson couldn't stand him. He couldn't stand him. But so Tom, getting back to your stout. Now give us a nice critique of the stout. You know what you think of it.
This is a good Irish, an American interpretation of an Irish ale. Lighter than Guinness, although you do have some big big roasted malt flavors going on.
Roasted malt flavor.
Like most styles, you've got hints of coffee, some chocolate, like burnt caramel going on. It's very flavorful. I mean, lighter in body. So if the thickness of Guinness, turns some folks off, this is a good stat because there's a lot of flavor, but it's not extremely heavy.
Well, if you think Guinness is heavy, you're going to really be impressed with that Polish porter. I think the company is Zwick or something. It's hard to pronounce, but I live in a very multi-ethnic area, and I can get just about anything nearby, and this stuff is powerful. But Jason, you were going to say something about the stout.
Yeah, what's the alcohol percentage?
What's alcohol percentage?
It's 5.2%.
Okay.
So it's relatively light for a stout.
Okay. Very good. So I like the glass you're drinking out of.
And the reason I started with this was I've got a couple. I'm kind of going up the chain as we go. So I started with the lightest beer first. We'll go heavier alcohol as we move on to.
Oh, so we're dealing with the heavy dark stuff on volume 9 of the show.
Yeah, I've got all bigger beers today.
Oh, all right. The heavy duty stuff. A lot of these jabroni, namby-pambys, they like to mix the stout with a light beer, and I don't understand why they're being a baby about drinking the heavy duty, full body, strong stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes maybe it's just a change of pace. Some people just don't like that heavy beer. I do. I love the heavy big beers. I love those big, strong, high ABV beers myself.
Robust. Now you like wheat beers, by the way, Tom?
You know what? I haven't been drinking a lot. I used to drink a lot, and I've kind of moved away from them. I don't drink a whole lot of summer wheats. I haven't this season anyway, but I have in the past.
Yeah, I just
I've
wanted
got a good glass here from one of the best German wheat beers. This is a nice glass from Erdinger, and they're one of the best import wheats out there.
Erdinger?
Yeah.
Erdinger. They get the yeast from their dinger. They stir with their dinger. But
they give it a little extra wang.
Yeah, extra wang. The worst beer I ever had, I know I said this before, but Jason, the worst beer I ever had in my life was in Margarita Island, Venezuela. It's a Venezuelan beer called Polar. It had a picture of a polar bear on the front. And it would taste like club soda. It wasn't even like beer. It's garbage. But what's your next beer there, Tom?
Are you ready for me to open one?
I'm ready for you to open one. Pop it open.
Okay. You talk for a second, I'll grab the beer.
All right. Yeah, so, Jason, it's just a shame that, people don't realize, the fans don't realize the aggravation that many pro wrestlers go through. Because they love pro wrestling, they're dedicated, but they have to go through so much stress. So much bullshit. But, all right, what you got there?
Okay, here's what I got, and I'll tell you why I picked it out. Sam Adams does a contest every year called Long Shot, where they take some home brews and they market them. Well, this is one of the winners. This is a 5 Crown Imperial Stout, and it's 8.9%.
Oh wow, that guy's he must be an egomaniac. He's got his picture on the label.
Well, they put their pictures on all of them for these long shots.
Oh wow.
So, but the reason I picked this one is to show you the difference in stouts. The Irish stout is usually a little lighter in ABV than the Imperial, but in many cases they've got as much or more body, a little more viscous, a little more mouthfeel. The Imperials are more. They tend to be more syrupy, a little thicker, and they also have they're a higher ABV. Most of them where dry stouts employ, almost all barley malt or all barley malt. Imperials will, in many cases, add brown sugar or molasses to up that ABV.
Oh wow.
And then you can kind of tell if you can see it pour.
Oh, that's
How thick
beautiful.
that pours.
Oh, that
And
I
it's
can
got
see it.
a real chocolatey head on it.
Chocolatey head. You're not talking about the joke from Harlem that we were mentioning before. The
No. I'm trying not to go there with
All
it.
right, but it looks very
But
thick.
you can take a look at that, see how much darker it is there?
Oh, it's beautiful. I could see the thickness when you.
Glass here.
Yeah. Well, I saw the thickness when you were pouring it out. I mean, it looks heavier. It had like a molasses,
Yeah.
thickness to it while you were pouring it. And I'm glad you're taking out the heavy guns today for Volume 9.
Well, I put a lot of IPAs with you. So, because it's so hot, I've been drinking more refreshing ales. But yeah, I decided to go a little bigger. Big bold men, so I want a big beer.
Now, what is your opinion of it? What is your opinion of the flavor?
It's pretty good. Again, a beer like this, you're looking for certain flavors. Imperials, again, they tend to be sweeter. They get a little sweetness about them when a dry stout doesn't. Where some of them succeed is they don't linger too long on the sweetness. When an Imperial stout fails, they get too sickening and sweet because they've added too much sugar to get your ABV in. This one succeeds. It's pretty good. I don't know if it's one of my top 5, but it's certainly not bad.
Yeah. Very good, man. It looks pretty damn.
I mean, when you're talking about American craft Imperial stouts, one of the best known out there is the Old Rasputin from a North Coast brewery. And if you haven't had one before, that's a great place to start because that was one of the first American craft Imperial stout, and it's a great one. My area here, Springfield, not far from here is Kansas City. It has Boulevard Brewery. They've got a great Imperial stout that runs 9.7, and it's called Dark Truth, and it's an amazing quality stout. And those are probably 2 of the very best.
9.7. Okay, wow. That's the alcohol content?
Mm-hmm. This one actually says this one says it's 8.9, so it's still pretty big.
All right. Jason, are you still with us? Jason? May have lost the connection.
Oh, over.
Yeah. Well, anyway, at least we had him for a little while. All right.
Hey,
Yeah. Anyway, those are two very impressive stouts so far that you've shown. But so far you're going up in progression, right? As far as heaviness and alcohol content.
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, getting.
Guess what? I may have time for one more with you. We'll see how this one goes.
Yeah.
We'll see how most the brewers for us after this one.
Well, I just want to say that a very dear friend of mine, Kelly Chen from Singapore, she calls me Buffet Majesty because she knows I like buffets. This is this comment is for regional food and drink. And I do love buffets because I cannot eat dinner like those hoity-toity snobbish judges on Iron Chef America, when they got the tiny little microscopic portions on a big plate, with the little design, the swirl of sauce. I would be starving if I had to eat that much. So I like an upscale buffet. I'm a buffet man. So because I have the crown on once in a while, she calls me Buffet Majesty, which is a cute nickname. I have a nickname for her, but that will be private. But
You're not going to share that, huh?
no, it's not a bad nickname. It's cute. But it's not a bad nickname. I call her my sweet snow pea. Because she's from Singapore, so my little snow pea. That's a nickname. But anyway, So we out here in New Jersey, we were getting constant rain, but it finally cleared up. The sun is out, but you know it's a little humid. How you doing out there in Missouri? You got hazy, hot, and humid?
Yeah, pretty much. We were extremely hot, humid for several days in a row. We had a couple days of serious storms, and now we're back to crazy hot and humid again here.
Do you have any independent circuit pro wrestling organizations out there in Missouri? Kansas City, St. Louis?
You know, I don't know. I'm not familiar with them. If there are, yeah, I'm not sure. Mixed martial arts is real big out here. I know there's several places, but I'm not sure about wrestling.
Yeah, those schools are all over now. A friend of mine from India, he's going to a university in Nebraska, you know, where the Cornhuskers play, and he's very much into mixed martial arts, and you know, it's much more. People are much more fascinated with it than boxing. Of course, you know, you can get hurt. Your career can be ended pretty early in life. But you know,
yeah.
But anyway, so would you like to add anything more about that second stout? Any more information?
Well, let's see. Actually, I don't have more information pulled up from the website. So, but yeah, it's, let's see what else is telling me here. Well, I just know that it's 8.9%. This is Joel Formanek who submitted the recipe. He was the winner for Five Crown Imperial Stout. Again, it's good. I mean, 8.9, you know, isn't small, but in the world of Imperial Stouts, most of them go 9 and up. So, you know, it's odd to say that it does taste smaller than most of them, but it is good. The key with many Imperial Stouts is that a lot of them leave a lot of lingering sweetness, and they tend to get cloying as you get down to the end. So I'm going to tell you more how I like this one or I don't when I get to about that much left. If that last bit's hard to drink, or if it's easy. You know what I'm saying? You ever have a beer and you get that last little bit, you go, oh my gosh, you know, this is just terrible.
Yeah. It's pretty good, though.
Some beers, especially Imperial Stouts, get better as they warm up a little bit. And that's what you're hoping for in a beer like this. If it doesn't, then, you know, you better start again.
Imperial Stout. And when you finish it, please mention the name of it, show the bottle and the brewery, where it's located, you know, give them a good plug.
And this is a Sam Adams from this is their long shot.
Oh, Sam Adams makes that?
Yeah, this is a Sam Adams beer. They do this long shot contest every year.
Well,
This is one of the 2011 winners that they roll out in 2012.
So that guy looks nothing like the owner and founder of Sam Adams.
Well, this is the guy that made the beer. This is the guy that won with this beer.
Oh, the formula.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they're constantly experimenting with new.
And I've got another one of these. It's going to be my third beer if we get to it. Another long shot selection, and you'll see their picture on it as well.
Okay. Well, I had no idea it was a Sam Adams because of the label. It's very unlike.
Yeah, that's why I'm using my Sam Adams glass to drink it.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
That's okay.
Check it out.
Now, are you gonna suddenly become the naked beer taster by the third beer? Are you gonna like flip out and just?
I won't say it hasn't happened before, but I'm not thinking on it.
Woo!
What happens on Mayhem stays on Mayhem.
Okay, that's true. Well, of course, until it goes on the internet.
Oh damn. This is a good beer. As it's warming up a little more for me, as I'm getting near the end, anybody that's ever had a not so good imperial stout knows sometimes once they get too warm, once you get near the bottom, they tend to get real thick and syrupy, and they taste really cloying and sickeningly sweet. That's when you get a not so good one. This really isn't bad. Like I said, I'm not going to put it in my top 5 because there's some great ones out there. But it isn't bad. It's especially for Sam Adams, who is known mostly for a solid line of session brews. This is pretty good.
Yeah, well, now you said a cheap stout would have sediment at the bottom.
No, not sediment, but they as they sit, sometimes you get near the end and they just feel thick. Yeah, they feel thick and they get sickeningly sweet and very cloying.
What was that last word?
Cloying.
Coitus?
The sweet just tends to hang on your taste buds. It's very cloying.
Oh, cloying. I never heard that word. I thought you said coitus.
No, coitus. Well, I'm hoping, but my luck hasn't been very good lately.
Is it coitus or coitus? My partner says coitus.
My wife watches a lot of Big Bang Theory, so I haven't been doing well in the coitus department.
Somebody should come out with a sex toy called the Snapdragon. It's a little inside.
My daughter's actually in the room, so as you make the Snapdragon joke.
Oh man, so
My testicles will never be the same.
that's true. Well, when you think about it, anything long can be a toy, and anything cigar shaped can be. Now, seriously speaking, you have to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 a.m. And what time do you have to be in St. Louis?
I would probably need to be there by 9. It's about a 4-hour drive, more or less. But I need to get up and get packed and out the door.
Okay, so Springfield is like south central part of the state?
Southwest.
Southwest. You are southwest.
Southwest, and St. Louis is kind of it's kind of the central east, if you can picture that. It's right near the Illinois state line. There's just a river.
Oh yeah.
There's a river, separating them.
The Mississippi, yeah. The Mississippi is separates Illinois from Missouri. And it goes all the way up to Lake Superior, by Minneapolis, St. Paul. I think it runs all the way up there. And then south, it empties into the Gulf of Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Right. They say it's not very deep. It's very wide, but it's relatively shallow river. I don't know how true that is, but got a lot of big catfish in there, I hear. You ever see that show where they got the Hicks are sticking their hands in the where the catfish are hanging out and grabbing them with their hands?
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, oogling or not oogling.
Noodling. Costa says it's called noodling.
Noodling?
Have you got it?
Yeah, I thought it's not oogling. Oogling is when you're gawking at a girl, I guess.
Yeah, she says it's called noodling.
Noodling.
Noodling. I thought noodling meant something else altogether.
Noodling? Oogling. That's a funny word. It's like when you go, hey, baby, hey, honey, hey, what's going on? Yeah, that would be oogling. So anyway,
Anyways.
I'm glad you're absorbing all those B vitamins from all this great stout. And you have one more stout to bring out, right?
Yeah, they actually say to try to give a piece of useless information every now and again that dark beers are actually good for you in the same way that a red wine is. They have the flavonoids.
Yeah,
there are some healthy properties. Not so much in the light lagers, but in the big dark beers, where you have the bigger, the darker roasted malts.
Well, they made medicinal tonics, nutritional and medicinal tonics out of barley malt for a very long time, you know, in the history of. I don't know. I guess it goes back to Europe, but
And so,
I know they've always made tonics, health tonics, out of barley malt. So why not? Why not?
all right, I'll show you that one last time.
Okay.
Actually, I went a little quicker than I anticipated, to be honest with you. It was very good. Usually this is a beer you want to sip very slowly, and I probably should have if I had some kind of intelligence. Went through it rather quick, which is a good sign. It means it's a pretty darn tasty beer, because it made me want to keep drinking.
Oh yeah. It looked great to me. I mean, I like the heavy duty stuff, and you're definitely enjoying it. I can't picture anybody going back to the nationally advertised, mass-produced garbage. I really, you know, after being a part of honest craft beer reviews, I don't think
The market's getting bigger all the time. I guess I recently read something that said currently the craft beer market is only 6% of the total beer market in the country. But that number does keep growing every year. It's getting bigger in every market. In Missouri, for instance, the number is actually only 3%, but that's a larger number from last year. So, I mean, it is a market that's climbing. I mean, you're always going to have those Bud Light drinkers. Those guys are there. You know, they're not going to quit drinking that stuff. But what's happening is you're not creating as many new macro drinkers. You're creating a lot of new craft drinkers, and that's going to be the difference.
you got to be kidding. Only
Yeah.
6%.
Yeah, only 6% at the moment. But I mean, although that sounds like a low number, it's encouraging because that number does keep climbing.
What's wrong with all those people out there drinking that garbage? What are they like? What are they, idiots? Are they like, you know, brain
Well, in
dead?
many cases, yeah, you know, I mean, there are a lot of, you know, challenged folks that like that stuff for one reason or
Yeah,
another.
mentally challenged. You have to be mentally challenged. Otherwise, you know, what you used to be called a damn retard. I mean, you gotta be to be drinking that garbage when you have all this high quality and reasonably priced craft beer. Because we've been seeing craft beers that were, in fact, down to like $6. You know.
Yeah, and, you know, but in many cases, the price of craft beers are going up. There's a lot of them that are, $14, $15 a six-pack and more. A lot of the newer brews are coming out at a little bit less, you know, to kind of take that market share. Some of these guys are going to price themselves out if they're not careful. I mean, the market is tough right now. People don't have a lot of disposable income. I mean, I love big, serious brews, but I mean, I can't afford $15 a six-pack.
Yeah, but all beers, all craft beers and ale are made of the same basic ingredients, and you know, you got your barley, malt, hops, and good water. I hope it's not from the Ganges, but you know, you got good water. But you know, this is not truffles and beluga caviar. I mean, these are relatively inexpensive ingredients. So for a company to charge over like $10 or over $10 for 6 bottles, it's highway robbery. It's ridiculous. But then you got these hoity-toity, snobbish, dudes out there that want to show off. You know, like we were talking about the pretentious beer geeks who insist on telling you how much they pay for their craft beer.
You know, you and I have talked about this, off camera. You know, it seems like I have favorite beer reviewers that I like to watch or I listen to or that I take seriously. And there's a lot of them that I don't because they're way too pretentious. There are some sites that are just so ridiculous, even though they do give you a lot of information. In most cases, it's skewed. In a lot of cases, they're bought and paid for.
Yeah, the beer whores.
Michael Jackson was one of the most well-known, not the singer, the beer guy, was one of the most well-known folks in beer, and he he gave you tons and tons of information. He was great. But a lot of the problem is people have taken that to, to an extreme. They've taken, and it seems like everybody wants to be a pretentious version of Michael Jackson. Whereas when I do mine, I'm kind of, I'm more Foster Brooks than Michael Jackson. I like to give important information, but this is just beer, folks. I'm not taking it that seriously.
Well, I think the lay person, and this is not sexual. The lay person, not the person that puts the lei around your neck when you go to Hawaii, but you know what I mean. The average Joe six-pack that enjoys good beer. They could understand your reviews and they could feel more comfortable with your reviews than anybody else. So,
well, I hope so. I like people enjoying it. The plain truth is that I do the reviews, for me as a stress reliever. I've got issues, and so this is a great stress reliever for me. It helps me relax. But if people can enjoy it, that's awesome. I don't know if you can notice the color on that, but that's got a real nice color, kind of a, I don't know, what do you call it, kind of a dark ruby.
Looks chestnut brown.
Yeah, it's got a nice color to it there. And this is another one from the Long Shot collection. Again, you'll see a different picture on it.
Oh yeah, it's a different. Whoa, what a goofy looking dude he is. What a doofus.
This one's called Durf's Secret Alt. Now this is based on the German style called an alt beer, or I'm going to pronounce this wrong, but it was spelled S-T-I-C-K-E, but they pronounce it Sticke. More or less on the German side. So, Sticke, which basically means it's high alcohol percentage beer.
Sticke?
There's not a rule in making this, other than it should be big, it should be flavorful, and it should be a fairly high alcohol content. This one comes out at 9.3.
I know this. I think this is a Jewish word, shtuk, which is a dirty word. So it's called shtika. You shtika. You isn't that what Arnold Schwarzenegger said to the maid, Mildred Pena? Comes here. The Maria Shriver is not home. Maria Shriver left the house. Come here, let me sticker you.
This is the sticker.
To the maid, the mistress, Mildred Pena. Hey, I come sticker you. Come here, Maria Shriver. Go bye. All right. Now, give us the numbers on this rather lighter looking stout, Mr. Durf.
This is an alt beer, not a stout, but it is a dark beer.
It's a dark beer.
It is 9.3%, so it's actually heavier in alcohol percentage than the last one, which is kind of why I say this one. But I don't know if you can tell there, but it's more heavily carbonated. If you can see those bubbles flowing.
Yes, I can.
It is slightly lighter in body, so you might be deceived. And it's actually fairly easy drinking for a 9.3 beer. It's got a lot of flavor. There's a lot going on here. It's not bad. It's tasty.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I want to crack up. Yeah, I want to see that Durf, that doofus guy.
Now this one, the winner of this is actually a Sam Adams employee by the name of Fred Hessler. He works for Sam Adams.
Oh, that's Fred Hessler. Okay.
And he created this recipe.
Durf.
Durf's Secret Alt. It's not a secret anymore. Everybody knows.
Durf. Well, it's easy to remember. Durf's doofuses. You have an audience there, sir?
I do. Our daughter is visiting at the moment. She's eating watermelon.
She's eating watermelon.
She's pregnant at the moment, so.
So she's listening to all this nasty talk. I didn't even know she was there.
I'm pregnant.
Well, yeah. You're pregnant. I mean, but I'm saying you're listening to all this guy talk. This Well, it could have been worse than what it was, I guess. Wasn't that bad.
Well, and she wasn't paying attention for a lot of it. So.
Now, watermelon is pretty good for you. They were talking. Gary Null was talking about it. It's rich in lycopene. It's actually watermelon and lemon juice. If you juice it, is an excellent detox.
But they're right. You know that? Says if you put lemon juice on watermelon, it's an excellent detox.
Yeah, lemon juice squeezed on it.
Oh, how about you?
Yeah, my friends, my partner's, one of his girlfriends is always busting him about using a watermelon instead of a blow-up doll when he's by himself. But that's another talk show. Watermelon. My grandfather, his pronunciation wasn't that good. He used to say warty-melon. Warty. You gotta, we're gonna have ice cold warty-melon. All right. It's very refreshing. So, oh man, it's gonna be rough driving that early in the morning. You're gonna have to knock yourself out early tonight.
Yeah, that's why I needed to cut this one short with you. I'm going to finish this last one, and I don't know if I don't get to two, but I'm good. So
you did good.
Got to finish packing, and he's this chemo that he has right now. He has to be admitted for. So many of them we can go up and back in the same day, but this isn't one of them.
Yeah. What is it? It's administered intravenously?
Well, he has what's called a port that they hook up the IV to. Yeah.
You mean like a permanent device they have in him?
Well, I mean, it can be taken out when he's through with treatment, but right now it's in there permanent. Yeah, and unless it's accessed, you don't even know it's there. It's not visible if it's not accessed. But that's what they'll do.
Poor kid, man. I hope for the best. Anyway, you mentioned the numbers on that beer, right?
Yeah, it's 9. I don't know I looked on their website. They don't mention the IBUs, which I usually like to give the International Bitterness Units. They don't mention those, but the ABV alcohol per volume is a 9. Alcohol by volume is 9.3.
Okay, 9.3. I know Durf's Secret Alt, as in alternative.
Alt beer. It's called an alt beer.
Now, what makes the alt beer unique? What makes it different? What makes it unique?
You know what? I wish I was more prepared. I actually don't know. I'm going to have to look up that answer. And I've looked it up before, but I don't have it in my mind at the moment. So I'm going to have to look it up and get back to you.
Now, don't worry about it. Really.
Tom is not an expert. I'm just a guy enthusiastic about beer, but I will find out the answers. And I'm not going to lie to you when I don't know something. How about that?
All right. No problem. Whenever you can. So now you've showed me some IPAs that had a nice deep color too. I mean, I thought Little Helper had a nice color. It was,
Yeah, the Little Helper is one of the darker IPAs out there. Excuse me. And so Piney River has a great one called the Missouri Mule. It also has a great, kind of a reddish hue to it as well. Got a great color.
Yeah.
And I had an Imperial not long ago from Leinenkugels of all places, from their Big Eddie line, their Imperial IPA. And that had a real deep kind of almost what's the color? I'm kind of colorblind, so it's hard for me to tell, but kind of almost just a deep red, not quite ruby-esque color. It was really nice, real pretty.
Yeah, like I said, it reminded me of Killian's Irish Red, and that was good. And then there was the first beer that came out of a can from Volume 8 show. That had a really nice color too. That wasn't light. I think that was an IPA also, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, it's just and the prices. I mean, you're like me. You're a great bargain shopper, and there are plenty of reasonably priced craft beers in the United States. You don't have to spend a lot of money. I mean, I happen to think that like Sam Adams is a little steep. You know, I would not buy Sam Adams. Why? Why pay $8, $9, $10 or more for a 6-pack when you can get craft beer for under $10? You know, or under $8.
You know, sometimes, there's been times I've spent more, and in many cases, a combination of a couple of things. One, it's a rare occasion where I do have the money, and two, curiosity. Sometimes if it's a flavor I haven't seen before, or a beer that wasn't available to me or just became available to me and I just need to try it one time,
right,
I'll have to come out of a little more to try it, but for the most part, I don't. This one, for instance, the Sam Adams Long Shot collection, it runs $10 a 6-pack no matter where you buy it. It's $10 everywhere. So I said no for a long time, and I found it somewhere for $8.99. So, you know, I went ahead and bought it at $9 a 6-pack. So, but sometimes you don't have a choice, and for me, sometimes curiosity gets the best of me, and I just have to know.
Yes. You know, but we definitely have choices, and plenty of them, and tonight for dinner I had mackerel.
Holy mackerel!
Holy mackerel! Mackerel with a yellow Spanish type rice.
Hey, Seamus.
Yeah, that was pretty
Can you look up the definition for alt beer? Spell beer, B-I-E-R, alt beer, A-L-T-B-I-E-R.
Alt beer. We might get to the bottom of this before we say goodbye.
I am. I'm dying to. Well, I've looked it up before and I knew it, and you asked me the question I didn't know, so I'm going to find out, by golly. I know it's a darker German beer.
Yeah, I never heard of it, but you know.
My wife just looked it up and says it's a German top fermenting beer.
Top fermenting, like you said, like the IPAs are top fermented, right? Or the ales.
She said alt beer means what? Old beer? Is that what she said? Hold on, Jake. I'm coming right back. I'm going to read it right off of the thing here.
Seamus' computer said, definition of
Seamus is funny. The alt beer, which means old beer, refers to the pre-lager brewing method using a warm top fermenting yeast. Over time, the alt yeast adjusted to low temperatures, and alt brewers would store or lager the beer after fermentation, leading to a cleaner, crisper beer than is the norm for some other top fermenting beers, such as a British Pale Ale. There you go.
Okay. Well, there's a definition for German alt beer. A-L-T. Alt beer. Everyone at home could look it up.
Hey, go for it, darn it. Boy, if I don't know something, I'll look it up.
Yeah,
y'all have computers, look it up.
That's right. Why, I mean, now we know what it is.
See, whereas somebody else might try to BS you through it, I told you I didn't know and found out. I'm not going to lie to you, but it's not always about having the most knowledge.
Well, the amazing thing is I'm always learning something new about a subject that I didn't think there was anything else to know. I
we'll learn together, my friend.
Beers are more complex and more sophisticated than people think. Of course, if you,
Okay, we talked about price earlier. A lot of the grains aren't that expensive to start with, but some of the processing is. And hops are very expensive right now. And especially when you're talking about aged beers, well, those are going to cost you more because they have to sit in the barrel longer. You know what I mean? So they're not making money right away. So I think that helps some of the costs go up. But my objection to the cost is not that a beer costs $10, a quality beer costs $10. It's that when two quality beers of the exact same quality have a $5 difference. A $10 to $15. When we're talking about exactly the same quality, we're talking about one brewer trying to get away with something, and that's my issue.
right.
For instance, Mother's, I want to talk about my local brewery real quick because I've done this before, but Mother's just came out that they had the best opening or the best first year of any micro beer in a long time, and of all the beers that came out in 2011, they had the biggest opening. They sold more. And some of the reason for that is, well, the biggest reason is quality. They're a top quality beer. But another reason is that they're not charging me normally. In most stores, they run about $8 a six-pack regular price. Some stores, they run $9 a six-pack regular price. But almost every week, I can find it on sale somewhere for $8 a six-pack. And sometimes I can find it for $7. So, sometimes it's just being smart. If they priced themselves at $10, $11 a six-pack out of the gate, they probably wouldn't have had the same luck that they've had. But they're producing an incredibly quality brew, and they're giving it to people, or they're putting it out there for folks where it can be afforded.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the nice photograph I posted of the Yinling Brewery in Pottsville, Pennsylvania?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That was a nice picture.
I've never been that way out east, so I've always wanted to go. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So.
Red Rooster is going to be going to the Poconos in Pennsylvania with his family, and he's going to be passing Stouts Brewery in Adamstown, and he won't be far from Yinling. So I mean, it's definitely. He says he's been to one of them several times.
But you guys all live out east, don't you? I mean, you're out in Jersey, and
yeah, Red is from Red Rooster and John Starodumsky are originally from Rhode Island, but they John Starodumsky lives in Georgia now, and Red.
Joke, I thought he was still on the East Coast.
And Red lives in Washington D.C., so East Coast. Yeah, I mean I'm in I'm in northeastern New Jersey near New York City.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so so if you ever want to take a bus into 42nd Street in Times Square, I got an inflatable queen size. I can put you guys up.
Thanks, man.
If you want to save some money in case you're driving through.
I would love to travel out that way sometime. As soon as Seamus gets through his treatment.
Yeah. Well, that's priority, man. You got to do that first. Peace of mind is very important.
Yeah. He's doing well. Of course, there's rough days, but for the most part, he's doing well. It just catches you off guard, I had a kid who'd never been sick a day in his life up to this point. It was just kind of, wow, how does this happen?
Yeah. Well, I listen to Gary Noe a lot, and there are definitely a lot of protocols for many serious illnesses that your average medical doctor doesn't even tell you about. They're out there, and usually detoxes people. That usually builds your immune system up, detox. Then you strengthen your immune system. Unless you have autoimmune, like somebody has Lou Gehrig's disease or rheumatoid arthritis, you can't strengthen the immune system because your body's attacking itself. So
Yeah.
obviously you can't do that. But there are definitely very effective protocols
And
out
it's hot
there.
in here.
It's hot. It's hot. Oh, that's because you're.
I had to lose my shirt. It was getting a little warm.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know, before we say goodbye, if you want to, you know, jump around and become the naked beer taster again. All right. Now you look like those girls on, you know, the chicks on spring break in New Orleans, you know, lifting their shirt up.
Beer Whisperer gone wild.
Beer whisperer gone wild.
Hey, you don't want to see that videotape.
Nah, no, not me.
Woo!
Not me.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even. I'm very desensitized to you know, to I mean, to me at this stage of my life, I mean, to watch women pull their top off, I'm like, been there, done it, seen it, you know, big deal. You know, I'm very desensitized to a lot of things because I've seen it all. You know, so the only thing that phases me is, you know, the real deal in the flesh. That's it. Everything else, you know, looking at a magazine or watching a movie, big deal. You know, or if you go to guys go to a go-go bar, or they like to call them gentlemen's clubs. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
they you know, the young guys are all going gaga over the breast implants. Big deal. They look
Yeah.
they look fake, they feel fake, and they are fake.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be that round. You know, boobies aren't perfectly round.
No, they're not supposed to be like two soccer balls under your skin.
And they don't just sit there. You know, if they stay in one place, they're probably not real.
No, they have to sag with gravity. You have to have a little bit of sag. A little bit. I'm not saying a woman's got to have them down to her knees or, you know, flopping. But, you know, you know, I mean, there has to be some gravity shown there. You know, you can't have like two solid balls, two spheres.
Yeah, you know, they're not supposed to just sit there, you know.
Right.
They can't just stay right in one spot. They're not real, folks.
Yeah, if they're stationary, they're not real. Two round and two stationary. But, all right, Chief, you have finished. That was your third, right?
That was my third. Are you ready to call it a night?
Yes, I am going to call it a night, and I want to, three is enough. Three is enough. I want to thank you, Tom the Beer Whisperer, for joining us for Volume 9 of Honest Craft Beer Reviews and
Well, thanks for having me, and thanks for bringing Jason on. That
Yes.
was all right. I wish you to stay longer.
I don't know what happened. I'll find out what happened to him. So, Regional Food and Drink, Honest Craft Beer Reviews, Volume 9 for Mega Life 21. I'm James P. Madonna, your host, and I want to thank second-generation professional wrestler for joining us, Mr. Jason Speed. And sorry that, you know, the connection was lost, but I'll find out. But anyway, thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, James.
Yes, and have a safe trip tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.